So if you've just built a brand new budget gaming PC or you're planning on building one, you've probably looked at A320 as an option because of how just damn cheap they are. But what happens when you search low to high and just pick the first one you see? Let's find out after this. Want to get rid of that annoying activation watermark but don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg? Head to cdkoffers.com today to get Windows 10 Pro for just $11 after using the promo code in the description down below. Simply sign up, buy using a safe and secure payment method like PayPal, and activate. Everything you need to get activated is in the description down below, so check it out today. Alright, so before actually testing this board, I thought it might be a good idea to actually learn a little bit about it. So this here is an MSI A320m-A Pro. Basically, it's really cheap. I bought two of these for 40 bucks Australian each, so it was definitely very cheap. And it was most certainly the least expensive motherboard on Umart at the time. Alright, so looking at the box, let's actually get an idea of what sort of feature set we're looking at on this bad boy. Wow, look at that feature, up to 3200 megahertz RAM. That's actually not bad, considering some Intel boards are still stuck at like, what, 2933 megahertz? It has audio boost. Enjoy crystal clear sound with audio boost. That means nothing to anyone. It also has core boost, latest evolution in high quality components, long lifetime, low ESR, low temperature. Wait, low temperature? Isn't that bad? Like, cause if you think about it, the lower the temperature, like, does that mean it's gonna die at lower temperature? I don't know. It also has 4K and legacy video support, so I guess that's good for people with APUs, I guess. Also, judging by the sticker on the front, it does also support Ryzen 3000, so that's pretty good. And I think it actually also supports every generation of Ryzen, so that's also pretty good. And it also supports the first gen Athlon AM4 CPUs. Anyway though, let's get this thing out of the box and actually get a good look at it. I didn't drop the box, I'm not Linus Tech Tips, what? Basically, this is very bare bones. I nearly dropped the motherboard. I promise I'm not Linus. Enough with the Linus jokes, let's get onto the actual board itself. It's very small, it's not actually even a full micro ATX. It's slightly shorter, I believe, and it's also, yeah, it's a fair bit less widthy. So, it's very tiny. This thing also doesn't have an M.2 slot. So if you're planning on picking up like a cheapo WD Green M.2 like SATA drive, it's a no supporto for that. I guess flipping it around to the ports, let's take a look at those. So it's got PS2 ports, so that's good for some people, I guess. It also has DVI and it also has HDMI, so that's pretty cool. The USB ports are actually pretty surprising. You've got 4 USB 3.0 ports and then 2 USB 2.0 ports, so that's pretty great. And it's also got 1 gigabit LAN, I believe, so that's pretty standard. And then, you know, you've also got all your standard audio connections there, so it's not too bad in the I/O department, actually. Moving on though, let's also take a look at the power delivery on this bad boy. As you can see, there are 0 heatsinks on this, and it looks to be, if my very limited knowledge on VRM components is correct, it looks to be a 3-phase VRM and a one-phase SoC. I don't know what the things mean. I just watched like a couple Buildzoid videos once. Yeah, the VRM is certainly not that impressive, and the fact that it doesn't have heatsinks makes me nervous. Anyways, for internal headers, you've got USB 3.0, you've got the 4 SATA ports, you've got a single fan header, and then your CPU fan header, and then you've also got a single 1x PCIe slot, and then a single 16x PCIe slot, and then also your standard audio connectors, and then 2 USB 2.0 headers. Other than that, I guess this is very much, you know, get the job done for the cheapest price possible. So anyway, I guess it's time to hook this up to a CPU and a system and see how it survives, and see what sort of temperatures and stuff the VRM gets up to with a little thermal proby boy that I've got on a shelf. So I guess let's get all that set up. Alrighty, so with all of the temperature testing out of the way with the Ryzen 5 1600, the results are in. So basically the chip pulled around 60 watts, and while pulling that power, that VRM got up to around 60 to 70 degrees. Now bear in mind that is also with the Wraith Prism blowing air down onto the VRM. So the VRM is actually getting a decent amount of airflow if you feel around the cooler. Considering something like the 3700X typically consumes about 90 to even 100 watts of power, this board probably won't fare too well. So I think if you're considering getting the cheapest board possible for your budget, I would say maybe try to spend a little extra on the board if you're getting something like a Ryzen 7 3700X in the build as well. But I think if you get something like a Ryzen 5 3600 or a Ryzen 5 1600, an A320 board like this could do you pretty well. That is, unless if you plan on using a tower cooler or an AIO or something that doesn't actually put airflow directly onto the VRM, because that will be a very unhealthy VRM for quite some time if you don't give it much air. So that's about it for this video. There is actually a giveaway going for this motherboard. If you want to join that, there is a link in the description. Also, if you want to check out more stuff like the sponsor I featured in the start of the video, there is also a link down there. And also, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell so you get notified whenever I upload. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video.